What if I told you you could relive the last Bitcoin bull run from $150 all the way up to $20,000? Hello, and welcome back to the weekly crypto review. The thing about trading is that it's about finding patterns. It's about looking at charts and seeing patterns. And I think I found one that you're going to like. So if we go over here to the chart, first, of course, if you think what I'm doing is valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And if you really want to help out, you can always go to cryptocurious.tv/support, and I have several wallet addresses there for crypto. But let's look at the charts. First off, I want to look at this chart here. So this is, and this is from, we're looking at the Bitstamp chart because it has more data. This is Bitcoin, and we're looking at the weekly chart back January of 2015, which was the bottom of the bull market, where it came off of a rise up to, let's see, what was its high? Its high was $1,163. Okay, everybody remembers that. Everybody talks about that. Bitcoin went to $1,200 and dropped back down. Well, it dropped down here to, at the week of January 12th, 2015, it dropped down to a low of $152. Okay, those are important numbers. So we're looking at a high of $1,200 at the end of the bull run and a low of around $152 at the end of the bear run. So let's take a look at Ethereum. This is the current chart for Ethereum. So if we look at the last bull run, which was the end of 2018, beginning of 2018, we see that Ethereum went up to a high of 1,400. Its close that week was at 1,365. So it actually closed higher that week than Bitcoin did on the 2014 bull run, 2013 bull run. And if we look down here, the low here, we've got a close price of $129. The low was $83. Currently, we're selling at $148. Does this look familiar? Does this in any way look familiar? Now, am I saying that in the next bull run, Ethereum is going to go up to $20,000? Because if we pull this in and we go back over here and we pull this down, let's pull this down so we can see it. This is the bull run that led us up to the top of $20,000. So it went from $152 to just under $20,000 in that one bull run. Is Ethereum going to do the same thing? That's the question. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, if you had the chance, knowing what you know now, to go back 2-3 years and invest in Bitcoin at $150 a coin, what would you do? Now, again, none of this, as always, none of this is ever investment advice. I'm simply pointing out an interesting pattern that I see. And that interesting pattern seems to indicate, and you can go back and you can do the research yourself. I've just looked at the last bull run. Go and look at the previous bull runs that Ethereum, from Ethereum's beginning, and compare them to prior bull runs on Bitcoin and see if they match up. The closer they match up, the better the chances that Ethereum will actually have that huge bull run that Bitcoin had last time. Not saying it's going to happen. There's no way. No one can predict that this is what's going to happen. I'm simply looking at patterns and saying, this is interesting. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy 10 ETH at, $148 a piece. So that's going to be $1,400. Because if I spend $1,400 and it does go up to $20,000 this bull run, well, let's see, 10 times 20,000, that's $200,000. That's not a bad gain. Again, I can't say that's what's going to happen. I can only say, hey, this is interesting. Have you noticed this? Well, I noticed this. This is something I'm not hearing anyone else talk about. I don't know that anyone else has noticed. They're all focused on Bitcoin, and certainly the Bitcoin maximalists are not looking at Ethereum. Bitcoin maximalists hate Ethereum. They think that any coin that isn't Bitcoin is a shit coin. When you are a trader, when you are looking at trading, you don't worry about whether you like something or not, as far as what it does or how it does. You're looking for an advantage. You're looking for, is this an investment that has the potential to gain money? When you are investing, when you are trading, when you're investing, you can invest with your heart, with your emotions. My dad worked for the railroad for 40 years, and they kept giving him stock, and he kept taking that stock and holding on to it because he worked for the railroad. Well, after he retired, after they bought out another railroad and moved everything to California, and he retired, that railroad was bought out by Union Pacific, and Union Pacific came in and said, we're going to pay you double what your stock is worth. So all that stock that he had gained, that he had acquired throughout his 40-year career, was suddenly worth a whole bunch of money. This was an emotional investment. He worked for the company, so of course he was going to hold on to the stock. When you are investing, you can do that. When you are trading, you don't want to do that. You want to look for, is this a stock? Is this an asset that is going to gain? And is it going to gain? What kind of gains do we think it's going to have? Well, in this case, looking at Ethereum, I'm saying the pattern looks awfully similar to Bitcoin, the bull run before the last one. So Bitcoin leads the way, and then on the next bull run, Ethereum seems to chase after, seems to follow. Well, that being the case, Ethereum seems to be an asset you might want to look at a little bit closer. And I'm certainly not saying go out and buy Ethereum. I'm certainly not saying move all your Bitcoin into Ethereum. I'm simply saying this is interesting. I want to learn more. I want to see more. And of course, because we're in the accumulation phase of this bull run, prices are remaining low. Fantastic. Everybody's talking about, oh my God, Bitcoin's dropping in price, and it's taking everything else with it. Well, in this case, that would be an advantage, because if prices were going up, if Bitcoin had gone up to 10K or above, and Ethereum had followed, would you be able to buy it at less than $200 a coin? No. This is where the accumulation stage is an advantage. So, I know what I'm going to do. The question now is, what are you going to do? I've been promising to make these shorter, and so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.